Project Sapient is a podcast meant to engage our brothers and sisters in the law enforcement and military communities in conversations that we all know we need to have. All opinions you'll hear are our own, are protected by our First Amendment of the United States Constitution, and in no way reflect or are meant to reflect the opinion of any specific agency, officer, or service member. Some opinions may be controversial. Listener discretion is advised. Enjoy.
Hello, everyone. It is Project Sapient. Ayman's over here, and we got Pete.
What's up, guys?
Tonight's episode, or today's episode, or this week's episode, actually, it's going to be kind of deep one, kind of,
Yes.
As if you can tell from the intro with Amazing Grace, it's going to be about an article I wrote by Havok Journal. Actually, Pete, let's get the supporters.
Yes,
Yeah.
our supporters. We absolutely love everybody. LiveBoston617.org, Havok Journal, Gym Junkies, Vector Shields. Thank you, guys. So, yeah, the bagpipes in the beginning, it's just, it always never fails to raise the hairs on my arms, dude.
Oh, yeah, I'm the same way, man. I'm the same way.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, it's so powerful, and the article I wrote, this Havok Journal published June 12th of 2020, called When One of Us is Murdered, as in law enforcement officers.
I'll tell you, it's something that every single person in law enforcement has to deal with.
Yeah.
Nobody can get away from it.
No, it's there. And the reason I used murdered is actually a close friend of mine from another state. I won't name or anything like that. His brother, who was also a cop, was shot and killed.
Yep.
By a bad guy, and I obviously flew out there right away and attended the funeral, and it was a powerful thing to it was an honor for me to actually be able to do that and help the family out,
right,
with whatever their needs were. And his brother said something, and I was like, you know what, he's right. He said, as he was going over the story of what happened that night, he said, yeah, my brother was murdered. And I was like, you know what? Yes, he was.
It's different hearing it, right?
Yeah.
Hearing the actual word.
We the news and even sometimes us as cops, we're like, yeah, man, my buddy was shot and killed or whatever.
Right.
And that's just kind of something we say. But the way he said it was, yeah, my brother was murdered.
You felt the pain.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't help but be a little empathic.
Yeah, no, it's unreal, and I know he listens to this podcast, so you know who you are, brother. I love you, and
even though I don't know you, you're Ayman's brother. You're my brother automatically. Yeah. So if you ever need anything, reach out.
Yeah, exactly. So the reason why I wrote it is because one thing I went to, which was my first time in 2019, was going to Police Week in D.C.
I've never gone.
Oh, you're gonna go.
I've had a couple opportunities. I've never gone.
You gotta go.
Yeah,
it was an amazing experience. I've never seen the National Mall filled with cops, with candles. That picture on Havok Journal, that was me. I took a picture of that.
Really?
Yeah, that was actually me taking the picture. That, I think the count was 30,000 cops were at the National Mall.
Jesus Christ.
That we took up the entire National Mall. and it was amazing. It was something, again, I'll never forget, and it's something, if you are a cop and never been, you have to go at least once.
I definitely want to. I really, it's every year.
It is unbelievable time. Lots of adult beverages occur.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't partake in those. The devil's water.
yeah. But actually what was really cool is at the time when I went, the National Law Enforcement Museum opened up.
Oh, really?
At the same time, yes.
So it wasn't opened? It was like its grand opening?
Yeah, that was like the grand opening. And you know, you flash the tin and they let you in right away. And, you know, amazing museum. Unbelievable.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they actually had a couple cruisers that the officers unfortunately died in, but they had the actual cruisers with the bullet holes and all that shit. And, you know, on display. Yeah, no, the actual cars, you know.
We got to go. I got to go down.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it sounds like this year it's still happening. It doesn't look like it's being canceled over COVID, but who knows? But I'm planning to go down. You know,
when is it?
Usually third week in May, I believe.
Okay.
It's a specific date that occurred. But anyway, so let's get back to
the article.
The article. So President John F. Kennedy gave law enforcement community a Memorial Day, basically May 14th.
Yep.
That's like the law enforcement Memorial Day. A day where we get to reflect on our brothers and sisters who died on the line of duty. Here's the thing, as cops, you know, just like soldiers overseas, when I was fighting in wars, in the war in Iraq, fellow soldier died. We have a quick memorial, and guess what? We're right back to work.
Yeah, exactly.
The
world keeps turning.
The world keeps turning, exactly. So I feel President John F. Kennedy did a great thing to actually give us one day to remember.
It's weird, right? Because Kennedy did it in the 60s.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And growing up, I knew nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
I knew Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Right, but I knew nothing about the law enforcement.
I had no idea until I became a cop.
Not even, dude, it was probably 10 years into my career where I even realized it.
Yeah.
I think it's probably with the onset of social media that I realized it.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah. And so I posted the proclamation that President Kennedy, I'm going to read it. So
here we go.
Just so I know, I get a little academic here. I'm sorry.
Oh, boy, let's do this.
Yeah. So this was written April 10th, 1962. By the President of the United States of America, a proclamation, whereas our law enforcement agencies play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms which have been guaranteed by the Constitution to every American citizen, and whereas it is important that people throughout our country know and understand the problems, duties, and responsibilities of their police departments, and that members of our law enforcement agencies recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
there's like nothing that you can argue in that.
By protecting them against violence or disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression or intimidation.
Can I stop you?
Yeah.
This reminds me as you're reading it, right? You have a president of the United States making this a holiday in essence, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in the law enforcement community that are going to tell you constitutionally, we have no obligation to do anything but enforce laws.
Yeah. Okay. You know my feeling on that.
I'm reading that and I agree with everything that President Kennedy was saying.
Yep.
But I can guarantee you that some people listening to this, even some people that I know, will be like, it's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, not my friends.
All right. Keep going. Keep going.
All right. Whereas, it continues, whereas the nation's police departments have grown to be modern and scientific law enforcement bodies, which unceasingly provide a vital public service. And whereas the Congress, by joint resolution approved June 21st, 1961, has designated the week of May 13th through the 19th, 1962, as Police Week in recognition of the contribution the police officers of America have made to our civilization through their dedicated and selfless efforts in enforcing our laws, and has also designated May 14th as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of the federal, state, municipal peace officers who have been killed or disabled in the line of duty. And whereas that resolution requests the president to issue a proclamation inviting the people of the United States to observe such period with appropriate ceremonies and activities. Now, therefore, I, John F. Kennedy, President of the United States of America, do hereby call upon the people of the United States and upon all patriotic, civic, and educational organizations to observe the week of May 13th to the 19th in 1962 as Police Week, with appropriate ceremonies in which all of our people may join in commemorating police officers, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to their communities, and in so doing have established for themselves an inviolable
Hooked on phonics work for me.
Yeah. Public school an enduring reputation for preserving the rights and security of all citizens. I further call upon the people of the United States to observe Monday, May 14, 1962, as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of those peace officers who, through their courageous deeds, have lost their lives or
have become disabled in the performance of duty.
Yeah, my screen just went away. I'm sorry, guys.
Do you want me to read the last two?
Yeah, go ahead.
In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the United States of America to be affixed. Done at the city of Washington, this 10th day of April, in the year of our Lord, 1962, and in independence of the United States of America, the 186th. John F. Kennedy.
How powerful is that?
It's stunning.
Can you disagree with anything he
I couldn't
said?
disagree with any of his punctuation, let alone, a word.
Yeah. I mean, it's and you're talking this, 1962 this occurred. And then ever since then, Police Week has grown and grown and grown and grown, and it's become this massive thing that we all are a part of as Americans. Just like we observe Memorial Day, just like we observe the 4th of July, all the other major milestones of our great nation. Police officers are one of them, and it's telling that even in the 60s, we were still recognized.
Well, think about it, right? The president's got 8 million things going through his head.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he had this because knowing a little bit about his personality and where he was, he did have a reverence for the police.
Yes.
But I'm sure there was somebody that pushed him to it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he actually made a big deal about it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he not only did a proclamation. Like sometimes you'll get political officials or whatever, they might do a what do you call like a 4th place ribbon certificate of appreciation. Thank you for playing.
Checkbox.
Checkbox. Exactly. Here's my quick 5 minutes of fame. He went and dedicated an entire week.
Yep.
Because he understood and knew what happened.
I gotta say, regardless of politics.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't on John F. Kennedy's side, for politics. I wasn't born then, but I'm just thinking in hindsight, right? Mm-hmm. But he did amazing things.
Thing is, though, you can't deny something. I mean,
you can't deny any of that.
You can't deny any of that.
I think the only other president that's done just as good for law enforcement is President Trump, former President Trump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's something that you can't deny.
No. And again, we're not left. We're not right.
Regardless of politics.
Regardless of politics. There have been presidents that were horrible to cops.
Right.
And there have been presidents that were great for cops.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying great for cops by saying, oh, you guys do a great job and that's about it and give us, lip service.
Right.
No, actually instituting certain things that will actually help us do our jobs in a safer manner and to be able to help our communities grow and safe and 10 million things that enables us to do things.
It's you look at public servants. And I'm not saying me and you public servants, I'm talking about politicians because that's what they are.
Yes.
Right? You look at them, and when they actually take the time to start laws or bring litigation or executive orders that'll help public servants, like what greater good can they do?
Oh, yeah. No, because they're doing their job.
They're doing, no shit. Yeah.
So, and he signs it, obviously, and now that we've read this, we want to give the listeners, those who are non-cops, kind of look into a mind of a cop when one of ours dies in the lineage.
Brace yourselves.
I have been to several police funerals, as you have. Even one is one too many. Just like, when I was with the Army Honor Guard, when we buried soldiers, one was one too many, especially the young ones, the 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. Those were the tough ones. Officer Sean Collier, MIT, young cop, and Boathouse and Speed Bump went and
Yep.
did their shit, and it's like you felt it. I mean, that day you felt it. Especially when we went to the funeral and the wake and all that stuff. You're talking. I met cops from Ireland. I met cops from Scotland. All over the world, cops came together, and we took up all of MIT. I think the entire field of the entire area, the entire campus.
So I did the escorts for, at the time, Vice President Biden.
Yep.
Back then, and it was, as much as I didn't like him politically, it was probably one of the best speeches I've ever heard.
Oh yeah, no, he knocked it out of the park.
I never want to get political on the show.
Yeah.
I really despised him politically.
Yeah.
But it was one of the best orated things I have ever heard when he was talking about Sean Collier.
Yeah, no, it was a very good speech. And so now in terms of here's the thing you want to think about. The officer responded to a call or saw something or was doing something, right? And the officer was the only reason why this officer was murdered was because they went out to make someone accountable for their actions.
They were doing their job.
They were doing their job. You did something stupid or you broke the law, and I'm not saying speeding or even then, we've had officers die.
Still keeping order.
We've had officers die over a bullshit speeding ticket.
Right.
Like, really? That's your only reason to killing the cop is because he was out there doing his job. He may have been giving you a freaking warning for all you know.
Well, how many times have you heard that happen?
Oh, plenty.
Right, where they look at the officer's actions and they were like, "Oh shit, he had written the guy a warning."
Yeah,
I could think of 3.
Yep. I mean, there's plenty. There's so many out there, and it's like, again, personal accountability is apparently a new thing that I'm bringing back as a cop.
People can't control themselves.
No, they can't. And here's the thing, when we as cops, we gather information, several hundred officers, even thousands. I mean, I've been to those. Honor guard up front, uniformed officers behind them, various law enforcement agencies for a day of mourning. One of our murdered brothers or sisters, the murderer was apprehended, handcuffed, sent away. We officers understand that we are not the jury. We're not the executioners.
As much as you want to be.
As much as you want to be. As much as when we were freaking escorting.
You say it right in your thing. As much as we want to act out whatever's going on through our minds. You're 100% right.
Here's the thing. How many SWAT officers, when we grabbed Boathouse and freaking took him out of there, you can't tell me there was not one cop there that said, this dude shouldn't be here. OPSEC,
but I can say I probably had one of the most defining decisions in my life. And maybe 5 other guys I know, and the rest of everybody that was there too.
Yep.
One of the most defining decisions I ever made, because I actually made the conscious decision.
Yep.
And it's exactly falls in line with what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean that's why, me and you talk about this, because been there, done that, and seen it.
Yep.
And felt it. And you think that guy who sexually assaulted that little girl that I had to investigate, you think I had any love for that dude or whatever?
Oh, I'm sure there's 15 scenarios that went through your brain.
Oh my God.
Which one would be more painful?
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing, folks. This is the reality of what we do and what we are. Why I label certain officers as these hybrid wolves, as these predators, as these guys that will do great and terrible things for their loved ones, for their communities. So most cops listening to this understand it. Yeah. Right? Yeah. But for the people that aren't cops and they're listening to this, you need to realize that there is absolutely nothing wrong with me having those thoughts or Ayman having those thoughts. Yep. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. That's the fact that we think it and don't go through with it should be commended. That separates us from the whole idea of them. Right. Well, actually, just real quick, segue into a recent video I watched by a certain news agency about how cops training as warriors is causing more people to die. And what's that guy's name? I don't know. Some biscuit. Tea drinking, biscuit eating guy. So I'll leave it at that. So I reached out to them asking if he wants to come on the show. Did no response. Oh, of course. I'm going to keep doing it. Oh, no, just keep copy and paste. Send, resend. Send all day long. So here's the thing, though. folks who aren't cops. I mean, the cops know what I'm talking about. They understand it. The non-officers, it is a real emotion. You know, you feel it in your entire fiber, from your legs all the way up to your head, to even your fingertips. You know, even now I'm like, you know, having my trigger finger like you know, we deal and when we deal with these evil people, you know. Even if when they killed a fellow officer, they go to jail, they aren't beaten to death.
Right.
They aren't executed. The handcuffs are on them, so now the fight's over. We officers are quiet, dazed. Some of us have tears in our eyes because we just lost a fellow officer.
Yeah.
A large procession of police officers follow the medical examiner's van because that is where the body of the slain officer is. They escort him there. They escort him back. You know, the murderer faces a judge the next day, gets their breakfast, changes into clothes. I mean, what a country.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah, what a country. And you know, they're in court in chains facing the judge. They are assigned either assigned a lawyer or hired, protected by the Constitution. You know, that's just the way. Those are the rules. Well,
we as police officers put our faith in that system.
Yeah.
Right. Like you said, you want to do a million things to this person.
Yeah.
But once the cuffs go on, you're controlling yourself, and then you put your faith in the judicial system,
which has failed us.
Right. There's a million arguments we can have with that. Right.
Yeah.
But you're totally right.
Yeah. And you know, meanwhile, the family of the slain officers crying, screaming. You know, while the officers provided, you know, support and comfort. One that stands out to me is Sergeant Chesnout and Weymouth, and his wife sitting in the courtroom and looking at that killer. And yeah, exactly. And you know, I get goosebumps just thinking about it. And you know, what a strong woman to be able to face that asshole right there. And you know, I'll never forget. She yelled, and it was live, and you know, they couldn't bleep it out on anything like that. I remember she said, you know, she called him something like a fucking asshole, whatever it was.
Right.
But that was raw emotion. You saw the other officers holding her down. But I'm sure in their minds, they knew what they wanted to do as soon as he walked by them. Oh, my
God, yeah.
You know, but...
I have a personal story offline.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. But during that whole fiasco, you know, we all have things that keep us up at night.
Yeah.
Chesna's funeral with the family and the kids is one of the things that keeps me up almost every night.
Yeah.
Like if I wake up the next morning and haven't dreamed about it, I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't dream about it tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll talk of an old one. This was military though. A young kid who died. Actually, I still have the cutout from the newspaper of me and my guys honor guard carrying the casket into the church. Yeah, I still have that. And I at the time I was folding the flag, and you know, it's both an honor, but also the wailing in the background. It gets to you. It gets to you, you know, and you're trying to maintain military bearing, maintain your discipline, do the flag folding, but it is so hard, you know, and we're doing it not because it's for us,
right?
For the family,
yeah,
you know. So we take that emotion that we have, we dig it deep, get rid of it, and then at least later on, we deal with the grieving. We deal with, you know, again, like having a Memorial Day for law enforcement.
Right.
We can now have that one day or that 1 week to do it. And it was unbelievable going to Police Week and watching their fellow officers, the officers that died the year before, and their names getting inscribed into the wall. And it's such a powerful moment.
That does sound powerful. Yeah.
Where, I mean, these officers, here's the thing, it's their, you know, brothers and sisters in law enforcement, and they're in there and they're crying and they're, you know, it's like the funeral all over again. But for them, for us, it's like also a release too, because we're like, all right, you know,
you're right. I never thought about it that way.
That's the thing. That's what I saw, you know, when I went to the wall, and it was so amazing because at the wall, what they do is they have tracing paper available.
Yeah, you can kind of trace
over it. And so many, you know, I have pictures of fellow officers when Sergeant Gannon was killed.
Yeah.
His team was down there. And they all, you know, traced his name out to keep as memorabilia. But it was so powerful because it was so quiet. No one was talking. And you're talking thousands of people at the wall. and it was dead silence.
That's crazy.
It was almost eerie, you know,
Yeah.
from because here's the thing that, again, we're still processing that death. We're still working on it. We're still doing what we're doing, you know, and you know, sure enough, later on, we're going to the bar and drinking to oblivion. But you know, it's a tough week. You know, it's an intense week for cops, and even, you know, I saw police officers' families, wives, husbands there, and they wear a special VIP necklace type thing, and they are being escorted by the officers' department. All over the place. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I'll, you know,
it's true love.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. They're carrying this family too. They're hurting, but they know the family needs it more.
Yep.
You know, and again, you want to talk about selflessness? Go to Police Week.
I have to do this.
I've met cops, man. I'm telling you, from San Francisco to Germany.
Yep.
And we were all there for the same reason, and we were all brothers and sisters, law enforcement. And I mean, it's an amazing time. Again, if you're a cop or even civilian, you've never experienced, go and take a look. And you know, and you know, I'm going to get back to the article because I kind of segued a little. But you know, for us, for the rest of the world goes on. You know, it travels,
keeps going.
But for us, we relive it because not only comes the time for the funeral and the screaming and crying, but the murderer is ordered held without bail, then sent to a jailhouse. Then he's housed there until trial. And then between then, pre-trial and all that stuff, officers have to repeatedly testify, you know, motions to suppress.
You're reliving it.
You're reliving it every day. And the family, same way, reliving it every day because they have to deal with going into court and seeing that individual that killed their significant other standing there, and I've seen them like smile, and it's fucking disgusting. You know?
They are fucking disgusting.
It's unreal, and again, like I said, their world has crashed and burned,
right?
But for the rest of the world, it's still going, but the thing is, we as officers haven't stopped working at all. You know, we're still answering the calls. We have to see a grief counselor to those departments who have those. Some of us are still shaken, you know. Some of us are still hurting, but we're working, you know. We're out there, and it's like it's an unbelievable selfless service that you are still pushing on, you know. And you know, we've gone to the point where neighboring departments go into patrol, let's say a town,
to help out,
so the entire department is able to attend the funeral. I mean, I just did this a couple weeks ago where a fellow officer died because of COVID.
Yep.
And all the neighboring departments, including my own, we all went. The patrol guys all went out there to take any calls, whatever is needed,
just to cover everything.
So the Norton officers have their moment to grieve. That way, they can do the funeral, grieve, have the rest of the night off, and you know, come back to work feeling better.
Here's the thing, Ayman, right? There's a lot of emotion with this stuff, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in your entire career, you've lost friends.
Yeah.
Whether it's the military and law enforcement.
Yeah.
You've lost friends. You've gotten over it. You continue to do your work. You continue to do your job.
Yep.
But does it still not bother you?
Oh, hell yeah.
Now, having these little moments, whether it's police week or having a brother and sister from a neighboring city or town coming to help you, it takes away just an ounce of that load that's on your shoulders.
We share it.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
We end up sharing it, you know, because it's a tough weight to have to hold in you all the time.
And there's people that can't overcome it.
No.
There's people. My FTO.
Yeah.
My FTO killed himself.
Yeah.
It was one of the as much death and destruction and fucking mutilation I've seen.
Yeah.
That man killing himself destroyed me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it brought me to the edge.
Yeah.
But I could see how it could.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. I always say, as a veteran, as a combat veteran and everything, we're one bad day away from having a really bad day.
Yeah.
You know, but we take it upon ourselves to have that discipline and to have that foresight and everything to keep ourselves in check, so to speak, whether through counseling, through whatever. That's
a great way to put it.
You know, we find a way. You know,
Put yourself in check.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Like with me, it's lifting. I mean, you can tell I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger size. I'm a rock and all that.
What'd you say, Lou?
Yeah,
Lou Ferrigno?
Yeah, exactly. So you know, I work out, and you know, that's my outlet. You know, whether I work out once a day or 3 times a day because I needed to. But that's part of my.
That's what your brain and your body said. This is what I need.
Exactly, and you know, later on down the line, we are going to have somebody talk about specifically talk about what she's doing out in California. Amazing stuff when it comes to physical fitness and therapy, all in one sitting.
And to further that a little bit, Project Sapient is going to have on our website, we're going to have resources.
Yes.
Where if you don't, or if you can't find that thing that you need, Ayman's got his working out.
Yes.
Me, I got my good looks.
Questionable.
Come on, dude. Give it to me, will you?
Listen. I understand you're Greek and you think you're Leonidas because you got the beard and you wake up to an alarm that yells, "This is Sparta." I gotcha.
My wife's got a sword pointed at you right now. Behind your back. Don't turn around.
Oh, shit.
But no, we're going to have resources out there for people, right?
Yeah.
We're going to, if you cannot find that thing that helps you, whatever it may be.
We'll find it.
There's nothing wrong with reaching out.
We will find
There's no stigma.
Yep.
Reach out, talk to us, call, email us.
Guys, projectsapient2020@gmail.com. Send us. We get tons of emails all the fucking time.
Talk.
And we will filter it out. We will get you in contact with the right people.
Even if you don't want that. If you want to call and tell me that you had a shitty fucking day.
Yeah.
And complain that the sky is fucking blue.
Please.
Call.
Please. I mean, it's amazing. Like, I'm part of a couple law enforcement groups on the interwebs. And on
the Google machine,
on the Google machine, on the Facebook, and what's amazing to me is when an officer actually reaches out and says, "Hey guys, I'm having a rough night," and all of a sudden you'll see thousands of posts with phone numbers, personal cell phone numbers.
Yep.
Call me, and then we do a follow up, and then you'll start seeing the trail. Hey, I called his or her agency, you know, on the DL because obviously they don't want him to get into the rubber gun squad, you know, or whatever.
Yep.
But on the DL, they got in touch with the right person. That person went out, did a well-being check, everything's good. Or another one is, hey, I'm in touch with them. I'm talking with them right now. We're good to go.
I don't know how your department does it without giving my department away. From when I started till now, it's night and day.
Yeah.
So I have to give them props.
Yeah.
But we have a stress unit.
Yeah.
Okay. And I could call on you, and it doesn't mean you're going to go to the rubber gun squad. Right.
We have a regional for us.
A regional. Okay.
Yeah, for us.
So the good thing with us is it's actually in our rules and regulations that once somebody gets quote unquote assigned to the stress unit, they can be assigned there without question.
Yeah.
So nobody can say, well, why is he going there?
Yeah.
Or why is he this? Or why is, do you see what I'm saying?
It's the same way with us.
Whatever they need therapy, they have it. We even have locations out of state that people can go to.
Yep.
I 100% say as fucked up as policing has become, it's one of the things, not to say that it's perfect because
it's a system.
It's a system.
It's a better system.
And it needs to be bettered.
Yeah.
Right? But it's there.
Is that a word?
Yeah.
Bettered?
Fuck off. but it's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because 20 years ago, if you called your partner and said, hey, I'm having fucking shitty thoughts.
Yeah.
Your partner would be like, fuck you, let's go drink. Let's make it worse.
Yeah.
In essence.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Well, the bottle is not the way to go. Yeah. It really isn't. But here's the thing, right? So getting back to the article, the funeral's over. Everything's done. We return back to work, business as usual. All officers are back to work. But difference. Are there any riots?
Fuck no.
Burning of buildings.
Nobody cares.
Looting. Are the officers shooting in the air and calling for blood?
Get out of here.
We might be thinking it.
You're not thinking it to the level that you're actually going to do anything about it. Because if we wanted to do something about it, if we wanted to riot,
yeah, it wouldn't be.
There'd be no country left.
Yes.
Let's call a spade here.
Yeah, I mean, so again, it's we don't do any of that because we know that does not change. That's not going to help. It's not going to fix anything. It's not going to change anything.
No.
We rely on a system that not perfect, but it's a system that we have. All right, it's a system in place, and trust me, I've grown up in another country, so as Pete, we know and we see what it's like to have a completely broken system
that gives no fucks.
Yeah, that gives zero fucks on your rights and your constitution. Which, if they even have a constitution, they call it a constitution, but it's not really. It's more lip service.
But again, it comes back to what you were saying, right? You get shithead in cuffs.
Yep.
Then you rely on the system.
Yep.
You're still upholding what you've sworn to.
Oh, absolutely.
That if that doesn't call you a warrior,
yeah.
Like
listen, tea,
you can't say the word.
Tea and biscuit eating guy. He made it a very, very good point not to say.
You can't
warrior.
say it.
Yeah, because it drives us to kill.
I want to fucking kill right now.
I know. So we're back to work. We're doing our thing. Police week comes around. Thousands of officers from all over the country go to Washington, D.C. to honor their fallen. The pictures I put on this article are actual pictures I took. So none of them are really, except for actually the NYPD funeral one, because I found it to be a powerful picture. I don't know when it was, but I've been in those parades. I mean, I even have a picture of us when we went to another funeral, to another slain officer, and it was thousands of cops, walking and grieving and everything. And I even have a picture of actually one of the officers tracing Sergeant Gannon's name.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what that is. If you go down, yeah, that's one of the officers.
Is that you?
No.
Is that you with hair?
Yeah. He actually has a better head of hair than me. I've given up on my hair, dude. That's why I got the Vin Diesel look going all the time. So later that evening, we head to the National Mall. And that is an amazing thing. And what they do is they call out the names of every officer that's slain from the year before. And after each name is like a ding of a bell. And the families are up there, and you're holding that picture of all of us with the candle. You're holding that candle up for the slain. And you're talking, there are cops that are handing thousands of these. I couldn't believe how many candles they had made.
Really?
For thousands of cops. Handmade.
That's amazing.
Like the way they wrapped them so the flame doesn't go out because of the wind and stuff like that. Right. All of them were made. And when the ceremony ends, the walk is eerily quiet. Once it's all said and done.
I'll tell you,
again,
man,
for 30,000 cops, for it to be that quiet.
So the whole silence thing kind of turns me off on it, and I'll tell you why. Every time I've done a funeral, because my last assignment, when I did get on a motorcycle, it was all funerals.
Yeah.
Right. Or dignitary escorts too, but funerals. Yeah. And you'd get up and do your formation and all that stuff. Then you'd hear the bagpipes. Yep. So the bagpipes would set the mood.
Yep.
The tears would be coming up, and you'd be like, stop.
Yeah.
And then the fucking silence.
Yeah.
And so now you talking about silence kind of turns me off a little bit from going, because I don't want to experience that.
Thing is, though, again, you have to.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, to me, it was so powerful for me because, and I can see why certain cops, they've been going there their entire career after their first one. I've met cops that have been going there for 20 years straight after their first one. Yeah, I mean, it is such an amazing, amazing, amazing experience, and getting to meet cops from all over the world. Yeah. Not just the country, all over the world.
Right.
And all of us standing together, shoulder to shoulder at the National Mall. And we may not know each other, but in the end, we were brothers and sisters, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Arab, whatever.
Hold on, that doesn't matter?
Yeah, well, in the real world, it doesn't matter, but in the fantasy lollipop unicorn world, apparently it does matter. So no, we all bleed blue. Just like in the military, we say we all bleed green.
Right.
In policing, we all bleed blue.
Unless you're Ayman and you're a mutant and it's neon purple.
Yeah, I don't sleep and carry cars down the street. So after a night of ceremonies, laughter, story sharing, we return to our respective agencies after we're done at Police Week. It's back to work, business as usual. We're out there catching the evil people. We're out there reminding people not to speed. We are out there helping elderly walk across the street. We're holding hands of a person that we know is about to die. We are comforting victims of violence. We are tormented by a court system that sometimes frees bad people too quickly.
Yes.
And then we get frustrated when our voices aren't heard. All right, we are out there. We're enforcing these laws that people and we are out there enforcing the laws that the people and politicians voted for. We didn't come up with the laws.
We didn't make them arbitrarily fucking say,
No.
this is, yeah.
We did not say this is law now. These laws were made by the politicians who are supposed to represent the people.
Yes.
Again, supposed to, key word.
It drives me insane.
Yeah. You know, we are a reflection of society. Society's laws, the police enforce, are a reflection of what the society has become. I really want you to think about that.
It's 100% true. You can't argue it.
No. Really, really think about it. You know, for us officers, we are the best in our society. We are the hunters of evil and the last line of defense for the communities we swore to protect. When one of us is murdered, we mourn, we celebrate the officer who has made the ultimate sacrifice, and we're back to work.
Exactly.
And it's that simple. You know, well, complex, but it's that in terms of the concept and what we do. It's that simple. You know, we get back to it, but the thing is, we wear that black mourning band. And anytime you see officers wear a black mourning band, for the civilians who don't know that means they lost a fellow officer.
Yeah, and anybody that doesn't know what he means, it's like a black band that goes in front of the officer's badge.
Yeah, and my black mourning badge actually is for my buddy, my close friend's brother. It has his badge number on it, so I kept that.
Oh, really?
That's my black mourning.
That's your
band.
mourning band?
Yeah, to remind me of him all the time. So I mean, again, I understand, guys. This was a deep episode, and it kind of happened because. You know, so there was a really bad incident in Miami that occurred. By the time this airs next week,
you'll have heard more.
You would have heard more. FBI agents were killed. You know, going after a real bad dude who was doing like child pornography and all kinds of shit, and they lost. What, 3 agents? 3 agents?
2 agents so far.
2 agents, and a bunch of them shot and hurt, and
one is in critical.
One is in critical, yeah. So, I mean, terrible, terrible thing. And so I was thinking about it, and, you know, I call up Pete because that's what I do. Even he's a midnight shifter. I'll call him at 12 and just to fuck with him.
I'm still fucking asleep. When I talk to you, I'm still sleeping. So whatever I say, you should record whatever I say, dude.
No, it's actually great because when I come to see you, you're like, really? I said that? Like, yeah, you did, dude. You wanted to do the episode in a tutu or something. I don't know.
Pete, why are you naked?
Yeah.
I thought we talked about. Oh fuck.
Yeah, right.
Damn it.
So you know, I get it, guys. This was a deep episode, and there's a reason why. And you know, I kind of shouldn't say inspired, but it's more, you know, I was like, I've had this article. It was kind of on the queue to get talked about, and thinking about it today. We were going to talk about something else, but thinking about what occurred to our fellow law enforcement friends and brothers and sisters.
I'll tell you, man. It really bothers me, and not from a. I mean, we talked about it, and when we said, you know, guys need better training and this and that, I get it. Yeah. We're all going to Monday morning quarterback it.
Yep.
We're all going to say, oh, they should have done this, they could have done that, and fuck this guy and fuck that guy and blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, it happened.
Yep.
Right? And what bothers me about it in every police death is, you know, I can get really deep about this shit, so I'm trying to control myself a little bit.
Okay, get ready, folks.
It's the before and after.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the, see, I'm trying to say it without giving shit away. It's the wife putting the pair of socks on her husband's dead body for the funeral.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the wife waking up and saying, fuck, what do I do now?
Yeah.
My kids aren't going to be taken to school. Or whatever their routine is. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to do the bills? My husband usually did the bills. Or vice versa. I'm not trying to be sexist or anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But it's the certain moments where you have some of these families and they turn around and say to you, what the fuck do I do now?
Here's the thing, my close friend, his brother's wife, has 3 kids, and what a strong woman. I just, like, you know, I talk to her from time to time. I'm on her, we're friends on Facebook, and, you know, check in from time to time, and I'm amazed at the stuff that she does.
She's going to get through it.
Yeah. Even to this day, like new graduates of the police academy, she will say, good luck, be safe. Like,
right.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know,
and look, she's going to get through it, but the pain aspect of it is what bothers me. That,
Yeah.
like I said, that wife putting the socks on the officer, or another one having to pull the officer's kids out of the casket.
Yeah.
Like that deep rooted fucking pain,
Yeah.
no matter how strong of a person you are.
Oh no, it's tough. I mean, it was very difficult to be honor guard, to be in the honor guard. It's a very, very difficult position in terms emotionally, because you feel the pain, you feel the family's pain, and you take that with you. That uniform carries that family's pain, and
of course it does.
When you fold in the flag, like I still have my my dress blues from the Army,
Do you?
and it's got the honor guard tab still on there, and it's like I remember everything. I remember all the funerals I did, in that uniform, and same thing with my honor guard uniform for work, for police. It's like there's a story on every time I wear it.
Exactly.
And yeah, we get to do some of the cool stuff. Like we get to go to football games, present the flag, and those are all fun stuff to do. But the real reason why an honor guard is there is to care for the family, and to represent the family, and to represent the slain officer.
And to show them and show the world that we're all behind these families.
Absolutely.
We're all behind these officers. We're all always going to be.
Yeah.
Because without that, if we can't support each other, we're fucked.
Oh, yeah. That's one thing I always say. I always say we only have each other. And that's it. And when the bullets fly and all that, it's so funny. I always say that, like, no matter what your views are, no matter what you feel about certain things and whatever, it's really humbling when you are facing death and you and your friends look at each other and you're like, yeah,
this is it.
It's humbling, and it's also not just humbling. It's also like the realization that you're like, oh shit, it's the real. This is really happening.
There, am I right or wrong? There's a little bit of numbness too.
Oh yeah,
like I felt the numbness.
Yeah, I mean, eventually when you're standing there at attention and we're conditioned, we're trained to take that emotion and just bury it somewhere.
That's wrong.
Compartmentalize it. We bury it somewhere, and it comes up. When it comes up? On the worst times.
Oh yeah, of course.
Right. That's whether we're dealing with some innocent motorist out there who has a broken taillight, and all of a sudden this festering anger.
Yeah, and the motorist tells you to go fuck your mother, and you're like, oh, okay, here's the twig snap.
Yeah. Like all that rage comes out.
Right.
So, like I've learned it's just not healthy to be that way. You need that release. You need to be able to do something. I don't care. I mean, my favorite scene in The Wire, where one of the detectives who builds furniture.
I haven't seen it. I know, I suck.
Dude,
what the fuck is wrong with you?
Fuck, man.
Blah, 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 blah.
You sure you're a cop?
No.
Okay, exactly. That's what I thought.
I have fooled you all.
That's what I thought. So in The Wire, there's this older detective, really smart. He's like the unassuming, really smart detective who's just a genius in investigations.
So not Ayman.
No, not me at all. Listen, I'm just a knuckle dragging door kicker, all right? That's all I am.
Oh, come on. You deserve that. Go on.
So he in his hobby, as he sits on his desk while doing reports, whatever, he builds doll furniture. It was kind of cool to me because I'm like, wow.
Was that his release?
That was his release.
Okay.
It was kind of cool to me because I'm like, oh, this dude, like, he builds all this doll furniture, and like it takes him time, and he's so meticulous with it, and that's his release. So what I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be lifting, running, whatever, something. Shipbuilding for all
something.
I mean, I found my various releases everywhere, between Havok Journal, between my lifting, between this podcast, and many other things that I do. I found my olive branch, if you want to call it, or my branches to reach out.
Yeah.
To different things. So, to my fellow officers and even veterans who are listening, who always hurt and will always be hurt, and we just are. And it's easier to admit that that's the reality than to try to bury it.
Absolutely. And to the non-officers and the non-military that are listening, if you guys want more information, if you want to talk to us, shoot us an email. It's not, this podcast isn't just for officers, right?
No.
We want to educate the public.
Yeah.
We want to get out there and let people know. If you think that something we said is wrong, call and argue it with me.
Oh, hell
because
yeah.
you know what? I'm a human being. As awesome as I am, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Here's the thing. We're over 2,000 listeners right now, which is spectacular.
2,000, very good. Non-copyable IPs.
Yeah.
Like legit.
Yeah. Organic.
Organic.
We didn't buy them, people.
No.
We didn't buy them. But organic. Reach out to us. We know you're listening.
Reach out, ask the questions, give it to civilian friends of yours, and have them listen to some of these things and ask you questions.
Have politicians. If you know your local
Yes.
city councilor, hey, check out this podcast. Give it to them. If they have questions, we'll bring them on the show. Or even if they don't want to go on the show and they have questions for us, we'll answer.
And especially if you know somebody that's having issues and you want to reach out to them, maybe you're embarrassed to be like, hey, dude, is there something wrong?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk? Write down our email on a piece of paper and slip it to them.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, shoot these guys an email.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, the stuff that I've done at 3 o'clock in the morning for somebody that I don't know is, I'll never admit to everything.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not talking about 911 calls. I'm not talking about radio calls. I'm talking about the random fucking, hey, Pete, I haven't talked to you in about 4 years, but I really need your help.
Yeah. I've done
Okay.
it.
Let's put my clothes on and let's go.
Yeah. I've done it, with that Facebook group for law enforcement. I've reached, hey, I'm awake right now. When I rarely work a midnight shift, unlike you, I will, brother or sister in need. Yeah, call me. I'm around.
The last thing we want is, and I've always said it to people that I've trained, to people that we're going to train, the last thing you want is to be standing over. Like I always say, when somebody fucked up, I always say, how would you feel standing over my fucking casket right now?
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do is be standing over your casket with my FTO. Of course, I said to myself, what did I miss?
Yeah.
Because we weren't as close, but I still talk to him all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What did I miss? What did I that? What did I that? And it ended up being one of my other friends who said, you got to realize this person wasn't that person when he did it.
No.
And that's what saved me because I was putting it on myself.
Yeah. Here's the thing. We are masters at hiding that shit.
And blaming ourselves too.
And blaming ourselves. I
Right.
mean, we are masters. Like, a cop will never tell you that they're hurting or a veteran or whatever unless it's really out there, unless that veteran finally admits it or that cop finally admits it or anybody,
Right.
for that matter, that's suffering from some sort of trauma, until they admit it and get out there and actually seek help. Help's out there.
Again, even just talking, that alone can cause the dopamine to dump in your fucking brain, and that's what you needed.
Yeah.
And, everything's like a house of cards, right? You
Yeah.
pull the wrong card out, it's going to fucking fall apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can be the strongest individual on the planet. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But I love seeing this about Police Week. I mean, I've heard so much good about it.
Yeah.
I had actually sponsored through one of my other businesses events that were down there, and I never went.
You got to go.
I mean, and I felt good doing that because I knew it was going to help families and stuff like that. But now just hearing everything and seeing everything, I got to get the fuck away. So this is this might be the best way to do it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You go down there, like-minded individuals, and just you're there, and it's one big memorial, basically. And it's an amazing time down there.
You're not celebrating death. You're celebrating
their life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Exactly. So we're going to finish tonight, with an end note, so to speak. Just like myself and Pete have been saying all along throughout this project is reach out.
Yeah.
Reach out, helps out there.
We are your friends. We are your brothers. We can be anonymous.
Yeah, exactly.
We have doctor friends of ours that we can help you with.
Yeah.
There's just reach out, man.
Yeah.
Stop fucking around.
Yeah.
Reach out.
I'm tired of watching police suicides. I really am. Just reach out. We're here for each other. We only have each other.
And again, it doesn't have to be that you have a fucking gun in your mouth, right? No. You want to tell me that your kid pissed you off today?
Yeah.
Believe me, the 2 minutes that I get to spend talking to you, I always tell you, I need 8 hours more every day. Yeah. I need an extra day in the week, right? Yeah. That 2 minutes isn't going to fucking kill me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the people that say, I'm so busy I can't pee. Fuck you, you peed.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Call me, text me, email us, put up a fucking smoke signal, whatever the fuck you want.
Whatever. It's, so remember our email, projectsapient2020@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. Just, tell us to go fuck ourselves. I don't know. Whatever.
Or that.
Just send us, I know, escalated quickly. So send us a note. We love you guys. You guys are awesome. And we thank our supporters once again. And everybody be safe for the rest of this week.
We're not gonna close it on bagpipes.
No.
Cry.
We're gonna have a little upbeat. All right?
A little upbeat. Guys,
there it is.
One more time, we're gonna say thank you, Havok Journal. We're gonna say thank you to Live Boston 617, Vector Shields, Gym Junkies, and the thousands of listeners we got. We love you all. See ya.
Bye.